Well, you got to weigh it out and who they are. There's a couple people. Oh, God, I didn't even talk about these guys, but whatever. So, what it would look like if it was ideal and everybody was on the same page.
What does an apprenticeship look like? You know what I mean? What does that even look like? Because you touched on that a little bit. Like, no, we don't want to fucking apprentice you. Why would I waste all my time giving you all this like energy and like? It's not just time going forward, but how much time I've taken in the past to accumulate this stuff. But what does that look like now?
If you do decide to take someone,
right?
Oh, well, you got to weigh it out and who they are. There's a couple people. Oh, God, I didn't even talk about these guys, but whatever. So, what it would look like if it was ideal and everybody was on the same page, you would learn needle making, you would learn sterilizing, you would learn cross contamination prevention, you would draw and trace and do hand stenciling, you would draw on the skin with a ballpoint pen and learn how to work with that, and then application with all the different types of needles and the technique associated with it, as it pertains to machine function.
You understand troubleshooting in all aspects. Why is the color not going in? What's up with my needles? What's up with the pigment? What's up with this guy's skin? What's up with the healing? It's not just about the drawing or the art, because people want to come in and say, look, I'm a good artist, I can draw. I don't give a fuck about that. Yeah. There's too many preliminary things you're going to have to learn before you start applying any kind of machine, You're not going to pick up a machine for over a year.
It don't matter how good you can fucking draw if you can't tattoo with your machine.
See, what happens is a lot of people get that ego. So they got a couple months in, they turn them loose. Okay, here's your little machines. You can start doing your thing. A couple months later, they split. There's this one guy that was working at my shop. He comes in one day, he's like, Art, I think that I'm going to quit. This just isn't the place for me. I said, oh yeah? Who gave you the authority? No one told you could quit yet. Who the fuck are you? Who do you think you're talking to? Justin brought you in. You talk to him and you to ask him, what do I need to prove to you before you will allow me to leave with your blessing? Because I'm carrying with me what you're teaching me, and I'm going to be reflecting on, what you taught me. I'll be reflecting on you. He didn't bother. He didn't give a fuck. He left like a coward, packed his shit and split. Another guy that one guy that I had apprenticed, he was good. This guy, Jeremy, he did good shit. He was capable of doing portraits by the end of everything. I go, you've been with me he worked for me for 10 fucking years. But his apprenticeship was done. I told him, when you do this fucking Salvador Dali portrait, and it turned out fucking great. He leaves the shop, worked for me for 10 years. He splits. And then I see him at a convention and I'm like, tell you guys to put bags on their machines. What the fuck are they doing here in a convention being seen by everybody with no bags on their machines? He goes, you tell them. I go, fuck you. They're not my kids, but you were my kid. I fucking raised you, and this is not how you were raised, and it's reflecting on me. So tell those little motherfuckers to put bags on their machines. That's what an apprenticeship looks like.
Fuck yeah.
You learn respect, not just for who's teaching you, but respect for the trade. You learn how to be resourceful. You're going to learn how to troubleshoot, and you're going to learn how to diagnose. You're going to learn how to talk to clients. You're going to treat clients with respect. You're not going to treat them like you're God's gift to them, because you're not. They're the most important. They sustain your fucking life. Yeah. Not only that, you might meet this guy who's a doctor who's going to remove that node off your fucking ass or take off that goddamn hemorrhoid you got hanging like an obsolete piece of broccoli. He'll take that motherfucker off because you tattooed him good. You made friends with him. You guys gain each other's trust. Because there's more to it than just the art. And I don't give a fuck if you think you can draw. That's the last thing on my fucking mind. There's a lot of people who can't draw that understand technique, who can do portraits, who can do realism, who can do fine line stuff because they understand technique.
It's fucking good stuff. It's fucking good stuff.
Crazy good.
It's real direct, isn't it?
And you don't ever get this,
Yeah.
It's always sugar coated and delivered in a way that doesn't hurt,
politically correct.
Yeah.
So it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and if I had an apprentice that said, if I told him, hey, set up my station, and no, I got a client coming in. What the fuck did you say? You set up my station or pack your shit and get the fuck out now. That's it. You either want it or you don't want it, and you're going to comply. If you really want to learn, you're going to not only learn. It's not about abuse, because we don't do abuse. Most people give us enough respect to where they'll comply because they want to learn. And we've only had a couple people that we taught that turned out pretty cool, you know. But this whole ego and sensitivity shit, it's getting out of hand, and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I do.
No, I grew up. My dad was a sous chef for 22 years of my, the first half of my life, and or a great portion of it. But I started working with him when I was 13, and I learned very quickly the yes chef phrase. There is no chef unless that is what he wants. You know what I mean? And then it's no chef. And I feel like I have, in a lot of ways, we were just talking about that not too long ago. I feel like I have had that part of me. So where I feel like a lot of my passion, my fire came from was the kitchen. And it's awesome to see that firsthand. Cause like Chris said, you don't get this, you know what I mean? It's all super soft, gentle parenting,
We're hoping that this isn't a run of the mill sounding something that you're going to put out on your thing. I mean, I hope, because we don't see how other people's are. We haven't, other people's interviews have been on your cool podcast. We haven't seen any because we're not technologically competent to log in.
Plus, we don't want to register and follow terms and conditions.
Right, yeah, fuck that.
Right. So we're hoping that maybe this is a really rad one that you think is a standout, and you can see that this isn't like it's not flimsy, it's not contrived, it's not phony, and it's not something we're putting out to try to be something we're not, because this is 100% us.
100%.
100%. So I hope that this is a rad addition
It
that
is.
will bring
It's
some
fucking
attention,
rad.
to this, so that you can keep showcasing tattooing in the light that it should be shown at.
Yeah.
Whether it's like an artistic aspect, somebody's doing something cool, or this where you have ethical and moral tattoo background.
Yeah.
And
I think that's really a big thing we want to do is help steer the ship in the right direction, and open up dialogue and create conversation that will help get other people thinking. And there's been so much of that, so much of that. And I think that if someone watched this episode and didn't get something and didn't click, there's no hope.
You're in the wrong industry, apparently.
There's no hope,
if it didn't click the first time, listen to it again.
Right, yeah.
And again, till you get it.
Yeah. It's
Because some
awesome.
of the stuff, the technological shit, talking about machine, that's just only the tip of it. There's way more to describe and talk about. But listen to it. If you don't understand it, listen to it again. Get yourself a coil machine, electromagnetic, look at it, and try to realize and associate the things we're saying with it. It wasn't even a full seminar. It was just like little stuff that people should know and understand.
Yeah.
But look at it and compare and see what your brain will digest from it and understand the basic function of it, because basic understanding grows into bigger understanding. Bigger understanding grows into pieces that are so fucking gnarly. And to look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm giving 100%. And I'm getting 100%. And I'm giving it to myself. It's pretty gnarly to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If there's a life worth living, it sounds like that is it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Fuck.
Man,
I feel like,
man.
and to go on, what you were saying, if this is going to be like a standout episode, I feel like a standard has been set a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we've had some pretty great conversations with folks so far. And each time I feel like I get something from it. I feel like you get that kind of in this industry, with good people anyway. But never so much, I think, a fire for it than what we've seen tonight. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm gonna look at guests a little bit differently. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm gonna look at myself differently. I'm gonna hold Chris to a different standard. It is a little disheartening that no one else was in the shop to hear this tonight. You know what I mean? Usually it's, the 10 to 5
They
shit,
make their choices, and we were hoping more people would be here to see.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like we've done seminars in different places, and the organizers who could stand to learn didn't want to take it because they'd look like they were lowly compared to the people that were taking it. But the people that were taking it got more knowledge than the people that were teaching them just from doing it. But they acted like, I already know this, but they didn't know shit. But it was good of them to organize it for the other people.
Right.
It's
And
funny.
I feel like we say that a lot. Is I never once in this podcast ever, even if I'm still doing this in 25, 30, 40 years, I never want to be the guy, you know, because you constantly hear this. If you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong fucking room. You know what I mean? And that's, I feel like that is a terrible, terrible cycle to fall into, is just thinking you're the top dog, you know, because where do you go from there? You know, where's the excitement after that? Where's the fire go after that? It's gone, right? There's nothing.
It's true.
Man.
Well, shit.
Yeah, shit is right.
Do you guys have any advice for people getting into it? Yeah, don't do it. It's a long road. Just get out.
It's
Yeah,
a long
yeah.
road.
Let us handle it.
That-
We got this.
that
You know, what do you got?
is.
You know?
That
Man.
is. I think, you know, something we were talking about last night and just kind of looking over the timeline of what you guys have been up to. And it looked like over the past 10 years, either you haven't been traveling as much or you guys have just been kind of doing your own thing. Or, I mean, what you been up to?
Well, we were doing a lot of stuff. Like we were touring for music, like with various bands. You know, up until 2018, we toured China. We played music there, and saw communism shit firsthand that you wouldn't know, and it mimics U.S. It mimics the U.S. scenario. The U.S. corporation is what it is that runs the show. It mimicked it. We're like, fuck. And then all of a sudden, the whole COVID lie scam that they burned everybody shows up. So we had to sit there and go, what the fuck's going on with this? Because we're not going to do any travel.
Yeah.
Travel would have meant go through borders. We were supposed to go do a tour and play Europe. No thanks. Not when they're getting all the infrastructure ready to scan people, to check what's your commercial status coming through borders and ports. That's something you got to look into, because when you read about what that means, you're going to flip out. Is your body registered to the system as the asset of whatever so-and-so citizenship you hold? Are you the asset of the corporate country? See, so we thought over the last however long that was, 5-6 years now, we haven't traveled much except to Mexico, where they didn't care one way or the other, because weren't implementing any of that vaccine passport nonsense. So it's only up till recently now we got correction of, and this is something else to look into. This is just stuff that if you really give a shit about your freedom in everything, is to look into your status, which is, are they foreclosing on my nationality, my right to nationality? Okay? Are they foreclosing on my right to nationality? Am I being ushered in as a debtor slave because of the certificates that I hold? So we're like, we're not going to be traveling through these ports until we correct that status. It's a status where you are an ambassador, basically a diplomat, where you go through and you are untouchable, right? If you could correct it to that point and you knew what you were doing and how to get there, you would do it. Because now you're exempt from all the shit that has to do with foreclosing on your rights, which is what's going on in the world. And this is why we were laying low for the last however many years. You know, still tattooing every day, whatever we got to do to survive, tattooing every day, and other stuff, making machines, whatever. But as far as traveling and laying low, we haven't traveled to a lot of places. Like during the whole COVID scam lie bullshit, we'd call our friends all over, hey man, what's going on in Argentina? Our right-hand man down there, Enrico's like, don't come down here. We got tanks in the street. If I want to go buy groceries, I got to go apply and register at the city hall to get a permit, to get a bus pass, to get on the bus, to go buy my family groceries. Call our friend in fucking France. He's like, I got everything taped up. Like I'm tattooing out of the basement. I'm not leaving to go anywhere. Diego Morales, what are you doing in Spain? Sorry, same shit. I got the windows taped up. I'm tattooing low key after hours, after 8 o'clock at night. You know, where Art was like, we saw that this was a global implementation of what would be a one world system. It has nothing to do with one world order. It doesn't matter. It's one world commercial system.
Because it's all banking.
It's all banking. It's how each corporate country. They're really corporations that, how do they interact with each other, and what status do the people hold? What status do you hold? If someone said, "Are you a U.S. citizen?" What would you say? Of course, you'd probably say, "Yeah." The fact is, you're not. You weren't born a U.S. citizen. You weren't.
The thing is to know the definition of what a citizen is.
Mm-hmm. And we could get
Right.
into this and talk all night about it, but that's why we were laying low trying to figure out, how the fuck do you get jurisdictionally separate? How do you separate yourself from what is going on in the world where you are untouchable in a way where they're going to recognize it, where the people on top are going to recognize, well, you stand your ground. You don't volunteer for bullshit. You don't stick your ass out in the air and go, come fuck it. You don't roll up your sleeve and go, here, give me the shot. You don't. You don't volunteer. And you have the right to not volunteer. The system would not exist unless you volunteer, unless you sign up, unless you register. So we learned all this over the last few years, and now we're to the point where, all right, let's go travel somewhere. Let's go to other countries and see what's up. If they want to try to say something, okay, yeah, well, prove to me that I'm in your jurisdiction. I'm not, sorry. Private international law. It's a whole nother can of beans, but it'll affect your life. If you study it, you'll go, fuck.
Welcome to sleepless nights.
Right, man.
But it all starts making sense, and you start figuring out where it comes from, because they do recognize the value of the man, right? The man, the physical man. This is how you know. Here's my wallet. The wallet that I have inside it contains all the things I need to function in commerce, right? I take this thing, if I need to get a job, let's see your social. Well, people come work for me. I believe they should be the beneficiary of their own labor. I don't need your fucking social. You come here, do your work, you pay the percentage to the entity, you take your fucking percentage home. That's what all this is. You take all this, you throw it aside. Am I still here? Fuck yeah. What's important about me? Well, what's important about me is I create value. How do I know I create value? They recognize my value. Otherwise, they wouldn't ask me for a signature at the bank to create an application for a credit card. Ask me for my signature to make anything happen, because you know what? That signature is my equitable asset. That is me allowing them to do whatever the fuck they want with that instrument. You see what I'm saying? An instrument could be anything. And some of the laws are fucked up. Wait till you hear this shit. I'll lay a real quick one on you. You get a check. That check has no value unless your boss signs it. You flip it over, you're endorsed the back. The bank gets it, not the tellers. They don't give a fuck because they don't realize what this is.
But it's not just the boss signs it. He gives it to you, but you can't do anything with it until you sign it.
Right. But when you sign it, they look at your signature. They want to see, what kind of signature is this? Is it a protected signature? What does a signature authorize me to do? So when you put your name on there blank, it's an incomplete instrument. It's called a blank signature. You put your name on there. They go, oh, look, Chris just allowed us to do whatever the fuck we want with this. Hey, according to UCC 3-115, I can add numbers and letters. It's an incomplete instrument, isn't it? It's a $5,000 check. Let's add 3 more zeros and put a stamp on the back and write pay to the order of. And let's bundle it with these other pieces of paper, and we'll sell them together as different types of mortgage-backed securities or asset-backed securities, whatever these securities are. And they take these things of value and they say, who needs collateral? And someone says, I need to buy some collateral. Okay, they sell it to them at a discount rate, but it's got your name on it.
And you authorized it.
You authorized it.
You follow what we're saying?
Yeah.
This is private money.
Right. They pool all the assets together and they consider them gifts. That you just gifted them the deposit into the bank of $1,000. They add 2 zeros, put pay to the order of. You authorize them with the free money because you didn't qualify your endorsement. Okay? This is the way the world operates.
From the smallest banking to the largest banking, which includes you and your future pledge of your labor to the fucking corporation to take care of their national debt.
Right. Okay. So that's where we stand with everything. That's basically in a nutshell.
Wow.
Who's taking you for a ride? Who's taking the tattoo industry for a ride? Who's doing that? And am I going to participate? No, I don't want to volunteer. You want my signature for what? Okay, I'm going to qualify my endorsement for special deposit only to the bank. Special deposit, under trust. I'm not giving you a general deposit. So you can take this and hypothecate it to make a bunch of dough behind my back out of my signature, and then give me digits on my side of the ledgering, and I'm on the accounts receivable where I owe you as a bank employee. Fuck that, no more. And we throwing that on the ground. Well, what do you got? You got your hands. You can work. You can fucking tattoo. You can trade for anything. That's labor right there. Now we're back to fucking barter. So that's something to think about. That's chapter 2 down the road.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you want to take us out here?
Yeah. So
Take us out
once
here.
again, Art, Steve, appreciate you guys like a motherfucker.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was
Thanks, you guys. This was
just
great.
absolutely fantastic.
But wait, give that guy credit because
Yeah,
said it.
absolutely. Brian Brenner of Truth and
Ruler.
Triumph, a legend. You know, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you know. God damn it, fucking words are hard, motherfucker. Appreciate you, dude. Yeah, this is just absolutely amazing, and very appreciative for you too.
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, no, you guys don't really fuck with socials, If they ever want to experience the fucking Godoys, where do they find you? Somehow in the world.
Through you guys. You guys fucking set it up.
Hell yeah.
Right, yeah, okay.
Say less.
So you heard it firsthand here. You get them through us, right? So, I mean, per usual, our socials and all that bullshit down below. If you like this episode, which I goddamn know you did, like and subscribe, do all that bullshit. It feels bad even saying that in front of you guys now, But without further ado, it's been another episode of More Than Tattoos, and thanks for hanging out.
Thanks.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.